fans are making a lot of noise at AT&T Stadium.
Anything that moves between these lines, got to get dealt with.
10, 5, and he streaks in. Deep to the post to Lamb. At the 5, to the goal line.
Dallas Cowboys Game Night is presented by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys.
Prescott throws, crossing, it's caught for the touchdown! It's Tolbert! Stays in the game and grabs it for the score!
It came down to just one play for the Dallas Cowboys. 4th and goal on the road in Pittsburgh as the Cowboys leave Mike Tomlin and the entire NFL world in shambles with a 20-17 shocking win to improve to 3-2 in Week 5 of the NFL season. They get the job done on the road, and it wasn't really pretty. It wasn't really easy, but the Cowboys get it done nonetheless. Jalen Tolbert, the hero at the end with the clutch touchdown on 4th and goal to get the job done. Welcome in to Cowboys Game Night. Thanks for staying up late with us, everybody. I'm Kyle Yeomans, or if you're checking us out on an early Monday morning, it's definitely a fun one. The Cowboys got delayed 90 minutes with their first meeting with Pittsburgh in primetime since 1982, but when they finally got underway, it turned into an instant classic. Dallas driving, looking for an early lead after trading field goals at a 3-3 ball game. Dak Prescott sacked by T.J. Watt and Nick Herbig. Herbig hops onto the football, recovers the strip sack. Steelers have the first takeaway of the night. Luckily, the Dallas defense was playing really well despite missing a couple of their key pieces on this specific 3rd down. Osa Odighizuwa and Carl Lawson share the sack. Dallas ends up with the football back and an opportunity to get the passing attack rolling. Dak finds Jake Ferguson. He rumbles downfield 27 yards into the Pittsburgh red zone. But 2 plays later on 2nd down, Dak has to roll to his left, trying to find Kevontae Turpin. He misses him on the left side, but that's not the story. Instead, it's the rookie left tackle, Tyler Guyton, who left the game, who would not return with a lower body injury, the second of the Cowboys' top 2 draft picks to leave this game, including Marshawn Nealon. They settle for a field goal up 6-3. Dallas has the ball and a chance to drive again in the red zone, but Dak Prescott is intercepted by Dante Jackson. The Steelers keep it a 6-3 ball game at the break. Into the 3rd quarter we go. Pittsburgh starts the half with the football, and they take a whole 3-minute drive downfield, capped off with a Justin Fields touchdown to Connor Haywood from 16 yards out. Next drive, Cowboys line up a 38-yard field goal. This one is blocked, keeps the Cowboys at a 4-point deficit, and it sends us into the 4th quarter with a Pittsburgh lead. Dallas would finally establish the ground game with Rico Dowdle, and then he gets involved in the passing game as well. Dowdle with the touchdown. He has it on the rollout from Dak, and Dallas takes a 13-10 lead. Following a Pittsburgh punt, Cowboys can take charge, but not going to happen on this drive. Dak Prescott intercepted by Joey Porter Jr. The Steelers get it right back and work into Dallas territory quickly. After the turnover, it was Justin Fields with the toss up front for Pat Freiermuth, who rumbles his way into the end zone. Pittsburgh with a late 17-13 advantage. Dak and Dallas taking over. They go all the way down to the 1, but Rico Dowdle, as he dives to the end zone, fumbles the football. Luckily for Dallas, QB1 is on top of it. He recovers it. Second life for the Cowboys. Next play, 3rd down. Open Jalen Tolbert in the back of the end zone. Dak throws it low. Tolbert can't hold on, but don't worry, he gets one more opportunity, and redemption is oh so sweet. He catches it right on the goal line, holds on to the football despite some tight coverage from the Pittsburgh defense. Dak Prescott fired up because he led his team down the field in 4 minutes and 56 seconds. Finds his wide receiver 2 target, Jalen Tolbert, who stepped up in a huge way without Brandon Cooks, and the Cowboys hold on to a 20-17 win over the Pittsburgh Steelers, a game that no one will forget anytime soon, and some that we'll be talking about, of course, going into this victory Monday. 20-17, here are the final stats presented by Miller Lite. Third down, total yards, rushing yards, all of this all working out to perfection for the Cowboys as we welcome in Nate Newton, a three-time Super Bowl champion. Nate, it was not pretty for the Cowboys, but they got the job done.
Yes, it was a gritty, hard-nosed win. I mean, we went in there, we needed to do something. We needed to control time and possession. We did that with 32 minutes. We needed to run the ball. We did that 31 times for 109 yards. We needed to make sure that Rico Dowdle had a rhythm. He had that at 20 carries, 87 yards. This team played well, and our defense held up. 233 yards, total defense given up. Hey, we like that. 25% on third down, 3 for 12. Defense, that travels, Kyle.
Yes, it does. And the defense was the story in this one, the way that they were able to get the job done late, holding Justin Fields and company in that pursuit. And Justin Fields was playing really good football coming in, but it was Dallas that comes out on top. But when we come back, we're going to get instant locker room reaction from the Cowboys win in Pittsburgh as we hear from Jalen Tolbert, who wins the ball game for the Cowboys in this one. 20-17, the final score. More Cowboys game night right after this.
This segment is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Dallas Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery are here. Play today.
I told him earlier in the week, like, he's going to be the reason that we do win plenty of games. And just kind of instilling that confidence in him within the whole week. And him along with Turp and JB, understanding that B. Cooks is down now. And obviously he knows that we still thinking about him. Brandon, that is. But, yeah, no, that's huge on B. Tolbert, sorry. Huge on Tolbert. Happy for him. And looking forward to next week.
Going into this game without Brandon Cooks in the fold, it was known that there were multiple receivers that needed to step up for this Dallas offense. One of those guys was Jalen Tolbert. CeeDee Lamb talked about it a little bit there, but Tolbert was the leading receiver for the Cowboys today, and he had the clutch touchdown reception. Let's hear from, well, today's wide receiver 1, but normally going to be wide receiver 2 without Cooks in the fold.
Getting injured and what you were feeling in that moment, and then to come back and have that catch.
It was a low ball. I thought I could get underneath it, and ended up taking a one hopper, to the private. But I couldn't breathe for a second. But once they called the timeout, I knew I had to go back in the game. My team needed me. That's the moments that I work hard for. I wasn't going to be out in that moment. So no matter what, I was going on the field. And like I said, I knew the play call. I knew the options that were available on the play call. I knew the coverage they were run. All I had to do was get through clean and make a play. And like I say, that's what big-time players do in big-time moments. When the ball comes your way, your team's counting on you, you make plays.
You mentioned about the guys tonight, considering the guys you lost in the way.
It shows the type of team we have. The work we put in, I already knew that, but I think we showed the world tonight what we were capable of doing and what we're capable of doing. And like I say, I love going to war with these guys. We showed grit, we showed integrity, we showed everything that we needed to show, and came on the road and got a hard-fought victory, 3-0 on the road, so we just got to keep building on it.
You can hear all of Jalen Tolbert post-game on the Connected TV app and on DallasCowboys.com. Back here with Nate Newton. And Nate, Jalen talked about it there. It wasn't necessarily the usual game winner where you kind of get hurt the play before, but it ended up being a nuts game all the way through anyway. So, I mean, the fact that he gets the job done, what does that say about his character and his way to get the football in that moment?
In the pregame, we talked about him a lot. He needed to step up. This guy had 10 targets and 7 catches off of those 10 targets for 87 yards. For a young guy to step up like that, a guy that we invested some time in and during training camp, and for him to come through like this right here was big. When you have a situation like this right here where a guy needs to step up big and he does, it does everything for his confidence.
And that's really what it turns into whenever it comes to a big-time matchup like Jalen Tolbert and a coming-out party. How did he get it done in terms of building that confidence with Dak Prescott?
Just working with him every day during practice. He's one. Dak has this big 50-yard field. He was one of those guys that was working during the offseason. Coming into training camp, now he had a chance with Cooks being out to show who he really is, man. Nice route runner, contested guy, catching balls, and he did all of that. at South Alabama. Now he's transferred over here to Dallas.
And that was one of the things on his scouting report was contested catches, and he showed that at the goal line with the game winner as time was expiring. But he wasn't the only one on the offense to step up in a big way. Cowboys needed a rushing attack. They found one with Rico Dowdle. He also got involved with the receiving touchdown as well. We hear from Rico right after this.
This segment was brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Dallas Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery are here. Play today.
Minutes in this opening quarter. A run with Rico Dowdle to the right, and Dowdle bounces to the outside. And a nice gain, which has not been said.
For the first time in 2024, a Cowboys running back has over 100 yards from scrimmage, 87 on the ground, 27 through the air for Rico Dowdle. Here's what he had to say after the win over the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Definitely felt like a movie to me. I mean, I had to fumble a couple plays before. Stomach was still. I'm in blah still, but definitely was like a movie. Great play call and great throw from Dak. Great catch from JT. Got the win.
For you, how did it feel just to have that premier role and you've been splitting carries, but just to have the whole load on you today?
Felt good. It was just like I said the whole time, just all about finding the rhythm. And I think we found our rhythm today and stuck with it, and it was able to show out there. Linemen making holes, and we was able to pound it down a good Pittsburgh run defense. So. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I think that's always been the case for me. As the game goes along, I think I get stronger, and like you said, it's just all about the rhythm and the body feeling as well.
Like your route running in the end zone there. You talk about the touchdown.
Yeah, actually it wasn't the play design. I supposed to like stop and come back, but the dude who was guarding me fell down. I'm like, I'm going corner. I hope Dak see me. And Dak rolled out and found me, and we made a great play, great touchdown.
What was the play like?
No, it felt pretty good to me. Yeah, it felt pretty good to me. I know that coming into the game, they was talking a lot about wearing the 7 studs and stuff like that. But the felt pretty great to me. Yeah, felt pretty good.
What is the difference?
So Rico Dowdle with a little extra energy, a little extra pep in his step, Nate Newton. And, I mean, that's what happens whenever you have a pretty good ball game. Rico helped this offense get back on the right track. Like I said in the earlier segments, it wasn't necessarily pretty, but he helped get the job done, and he did so by gritty, tough-nosed running.
You know, it was always the next series. You know, we fumbled. Next series, we start Rico Dowdle. He opened things up. We throw an interception. Next series is Rico Dowdle. He was the guy that settled us down on the road. You was in a hostile environment. The game started with 2 hours late. Rico Dowdle was that steady and force all through this game. I mean, Dak is Dak. But Rico Dowdle, when you have a running game like what he supplied for us today, and then he came out of that backfield and he said, hey, I'm going to go out. My guy slipped. I'm going to go out and, hey, make this right. And hope Dak find me. Dak found him. He was the steadying force today.
You mentioned Dak Prescott. Tell me a little bit about how he played today. What was your thought on how QB1 was?
I think he tried to make some things happen, you know, especially when they had a double coverage at the top over there on CD Lamb. He tried to force some things in there. That happens sometimes. He's the only guy we got going right now. We lost a couple of our defensive studs. So you know what? He say he's cool and calm, but all of that, he knows he can't make too many mistakes. And today he forced a few mistakes.
Now, there were a couple of mistakes.
Yeah.
He ended up making the throws necessary down the stretch to get it done, but it was really the supporting cast and character that helped the Cowboys to this 3-point victory. When we come back, you mentioned that defense missing a couple of their guys, but they had one of their best outings of the year. How did the defense and DeMarvion Overshone help the Steelers, or help beat the Steelers on the road in Week 5?
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery are here. Play today.
Tuck it, and I open my. I promise it will never. I'm on the jugs all week.
You will never get an easy.
Bro,
that easy.
The fact that I'm sitting here like a punt return, looking at the ball, I'm like, he throwing the ball to me. He throwing the ball, and you know I messed that up, and that's on me. But the next time I get a chance to end the game, I'm ending the game.
Last one, Dak, that last play to Jeff, can you just kind of take us through what it was like watch from the sideline?
You know, when you see greatness every day at practice, you expect that from Dak. He kept his posure, you know, kept the offense cool, fourth down. We know I knew what play he was running, you know. I call it the Brandon Cook special. But JT, I seen him. I knew once we got down there that our offense was going to take care of business. Shout out to those guys. And we got to keep them rolling now.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
How do you describe tonight's game?
Oh, a hard-fought win. You know, that's an NFL football game right there. I've been told by so many people, and just watching the Steelers, you know, they always going to play you to the last play, the last possession. So it's one of those games that you like under your belt, knowing that you had to come back, you had to fight hard, and being on the road at Pittsburgh, a good team. It's one of those wins that I think it's going to, you know, skyrocket the rest of our season. We're going to be able to build off that.
DeMarvion Overshown brings up a great point. It wasn't the most perfect win you've ever seen in your entire life, but it is something to build on. How do the Cowboys build on a win like this moving forward?
You know, when you go through adversity, you start the game, 2 hours late. You go out there and things don't turn. You fumble the ball. You throw an interception, but your defense stays steady. Your running game stays steady. Those are the things that travel, your defense and your run game. When you got a guy like Overshown who's hyped and ready to go and running all over the field, making plays, I believe he will close it out the next time it comes to him like that.
It was almost 2 a.m. in the Eastern time zone whenever he was filming that energy. It looked like he could play an entire game after this moving forward. How big has he been for this Cowboys defense?
For a guy to come off major surgery,
They
had to hold him back in training camp, a snap count. Now they turned him loose during the season. I mean, they wanted to keep him on a snap count during the season, but they've turned this guy loose. He's went from just being a nickel guy to an every down guy to just not leaving the field. This guy's a ball of dynamite, man.
And he has been a big piece of that defense and a big thing to stop the run. He's been a big part of that as well. But when we come back, we've got a big new segment with Nate Newton. Nate Newton's always giving out pancakes, right? Well, instead of giving out game balls like NBC did tonight, he's going to give out some pancakes to who was our players of the game with more Cowboys Game Night next.
To watch more Dallas Cowboys content on your connected TV, download the Cowboys Now app on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV. Dallas Cowboys Game Night was presented by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys.
20-17, the final score. The Cowboys steal one from the Steelers up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, as they leave Acrisure Stadium with the 3-point win. A touchdown by Jalen Tolbert in the waning seconds gets it done in the early morning hours of a Victory Monday as we move back into the final segment of Cowboys Game Night. Alongside Nate Newton, I'm Kyle Yeomans. Nate, you've given out pancakes throughout your entire career. Now you're on the TV side of things, so we thought it'd only be right your game balls be named pancakes. So who's getting the flapjacks tonight after a great win in Pittsburgh?
Rico Dotto, 20 attempts, 87 yards, 4.4 average, 13 long. He got two passes for a 27-yard. 22 is his long, but he scored a touchdown. He was a steadying force tonight. He barely nudged out my boy Jalen Tolbert. Big catch.
So why him over Jalen Tolbert?
Because he was a steadying force. He was the guy after a bad play. We would come back to him after a bad interception or a bad fumble. We would always come back to him, and he ran hard up in there. He helped his offensive line. That is why I gave it to him tonight.
I love it. I really do. And you've given out pancakes for good running backs all the way through your career. Now you're giving them out to running backs again as an analyst. Nate Newton, as always. We need to get some actual pancakes up in here. It's 2 a.m. in the morning. It'd be the perfect time to do it. Make it happen. That does it for us on Cowboys Game Night. We'll be back next week. The Cowboys taking on the Detroit Lions. That'll be a fun one as they get back to AT&T Stadium. We'll see you next time from the Star in Frisco.